How to use a floating license. This video provides an overview of the floating license server, including how to install it and how to use a floating license. To use a floating license, you need a server to manage the license. You can use a Windows, Linux, or Mac OS PC as the server. In this video, we will use Windows as an example. Install the floating license management software on the server PC and register your purchased license key to enable floating licenses. You can download the floating license management software from the Renesas Compiler Installation Guide web page, which is listed in the description. Launch the installer included in the downloaded zip file to install the floating license management software on the server. After purchasing a floating license, you will receive a hard copy of the license key or license acquisition code. For permanent licenses, the license key is provided. For annual licenses, use the license acquisition code to obtain a subscription license key from the Renesas website. Launch the floating license server administrator from the Windows Start menu on the server PC and enter the floating license key. The license key is a 25-character alphanumeric string. Immediately after installing the floating license server administrator, the network connection on the server side is disabled. Open the Option Settings dialog and enable the network connection. Configure the client PC to connect to the floating license server PC. Open the Option Settings dialog in the License Manager, enter the IP address of the server PC, and then enable the network connection. When a build starts on a client PC, the License Manager automatically obtains a floating license from the server and retains it for 30 minutes. If all floating licenses are in use, the compiler on other client PCs will operate as a free evaluation version. Other client PCs can acquire licenses after the retention period. You can check whether a floating license is in use through the floating license management software on the server PC. Click Refresh. Select the compiler license name and license key to display the information of the licensed client PC at the bottom. By using offline mode, a client PC that is not connected to the network can still retain a floating license. This enables continued software development, similar to a node-locked license, during business trips and telecommuting environments when connecting to the corporate network is unavailable. To use a floating license in offline mode, use the License Manager on the client PC to specify the number of days to use and then acquire the license before going offline. You may also consider purchasing a floating license for telecommuting.